My name is Nick Oliveri, and I'm a proud student service learner here at the California State University of Monterey Bay, and I'm service learning for the Monterey County Free Library. Today, I want to do a very important, really cool, but a little bit of a dark book chat today, Slaughterhouse Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Before I say anything about the book, I'm going to start with a quote. Page 193 of this edition of Slaughterhouse Five. Here it is. The surgeon spoke English, and he said to Billy, "I take it you find war a very comical thing." Now, this is, I'm going to leave this quote kind of unanswered for the rest of the book, but I bring that up as a quote because, so this is essentially, among many other things, kind of like an episodic, non-linear, like postmodern, almost like trippy and hallucinogenic. Even though the prose is very simple, the story is hallucinogenic and psychedelic in how it jumps around from all these different time periods and even different dimensions. But overall, it's an anti-war novel. Past all of that, all the postmodernism and the anti-linearity of the novel, it's anti-war. So when it says the surgeon spoke in English on 193. And he said to Billy, "I take it you find war a very comical thing." That's what Kurt Vonnegut tries to do. He tries to find comedy and satire in one of the most brutal and vicious things that could be experienced by humans, and that he actually experienced himself as a prisoner in Dresden, Germany. He saw the bombing that killed about 125,000 people in that city during World War II. He saw it. And so a lot of this book is commentary on PTSD, but instead of really delving into, and he does actually in such simple but profound ways, he does delve into the pain of those soldiers as well as himself. It took him 20 years, and this is why I had so many good quotes, because this book is so expertly crafted. Every single sentence has a nugget in there that's like, this means more than what it says on the surface, which is why I had such a hard time finding the few quotes I'm going to give you, because there were so many more that I wanted to share that were indicative of a lot more of just what the quote was at surface value. And it said so much. Vonnegut took about roughly 20 years to actually create this novel. He was a POW in World War II, but he's also a behemoth, a monolithic figure in American literature, especially in the 20th century. But he's kind of a satirical writer in some ways. Let's get into the book. What he's doing in this book, among many other things, is talking about PTSD, something that was referred to shell shock for so long. It was basically untreatable. And these soldiers and these people who went through the most horrific atrocities possible, they witnessed with their own eyes, they experienced it, they felt it. They didn't have any other ways to say it. So every time, in a really, really dark humor perspective, from a really, they call it black humor, every time death was mentioned, someone died, as you're going to see in some quotes, it'd say, "So it goes." Haha, so it goes. This person died, or this person overdosed, or this person got shot execution style. So it goes. So it goes. So it goes. The phrase "so it goes" in conjunction actually appears over 100 times in the book. The book is about a main character named Billy. Now, Billy will jump through, like I said, a hallucinogenic, non-linear way of experiencing life, where he'll jump to his time in the war camp, and to his time in the slaughterhouse in the war, and to his time when he married an optometrist's daughter and became wealthy as an optometrist post-war, and then fast forward with their daughter, or then go back to this separate whole dimension where he marries, I'm serious, he is paired up and has an intimate relation with a porn star in a zoo made by aliens who can see in 4 dimensions and are fatalists. Now, fatalism, getting into my next topic, is a topic that's very much explored in Vonnegut's work here. Because fatalism is essentially, I have a quote. "The American was astonished," trigger warning by the way, violence and blood, The American was astonished. He stood up shakily, spitting blood. He'd had 2 teeth knocked out. He had meant no harm by what he'd said, evidently. He had no idea that the guard would hear and understand. Why me? He asked the guard. Now, before I say the next quote, I'm pausing. This guy who had his teeth knocked out and was beaten for saying something in English that meant no harm to these German guards, he's asking, why me? I didn't mean any offense. I didn't even insult you. And the guard said, and this is very indicative of that fatalistic, even nihilistic touch of Vonnegut, and from nihilism into a vat of black comedy and this whole mixture that you really have to experience for yourself. The American goes, why me? He asked the guard. The guard shoved him back into the ranks. Why you? Why anybody? That's what Vonnegut is trying to say in this anti-war novel. Why you? Why anybody? Because he's saying no matter what you do, a war can only be started by aggression. Why? He's asking why. So it goes, Slaughterhouse Five. It's an exploration on mental illness, and there's so much there. To be honest, when I first read it, it confused me. But being confused and asking questions about a novel is not the worst thing. Sometimes after reading a great piece of literature, you want more questions than answers because, well, that's what makes life beautiful. So thank you, everyone.